Hi everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs. Welcome to my studio. Today I want to show you how to do these print and cut cards. They come with a little envelope. This is the unicorn one, and I want to show you how to do these in Silhouette Studio Basic Edition. So you'll know that in the Basic Edition you cannot import SVGs, but all of my files also have DXF and GSD, which you can do in the Basic Edition. So I want to show you how to do that. So let me show you the cards first. We have this one. It says, I believe in you, Valentine, and then your to from down on the bottom. These little unicorns are just so cute. I love unicorns. You are one of a kind, again, to from. And then the last one in this set is Have a Magical Valentine's Day, to from. I have 3 sets of these. I have a gnome, one with gnomes, one with rainbows, and the unicorn. And I'm working on some birthday and some St. Patrick's Day cards as well. They also come with the little envelope. And they just pop open, and this one has the double heart seal on it. So let's go ahead and jump on over to Silhouette Studio, and I'll show you how to do these. Alright, so we are over in Silhouette Studio. If you'll notice up on the top left hand corner, right up here, it tells you which edition you're working in. So I am in actually Business Edition, but I'm going to show you how to do the DXF and the GSD files, which will open in your Basic Edition. So the first thing before we even bring anything in is you're going to want to come over here, and on the bottom left hand corner there's a little gear, and that is your preference pane. So we're going to go ahead and open that. And then when you have this window open, you want to come to Import, which is that 4th tab. And we're going to click on it. And then you have some options. Now, because I'm in Business Edition, SVG is showing. If you're in the Basic, SVG will not show, but GSD and DXF will. So under Open, you want to click on this drop-down menu, and you want to make sure that it says As Is. And you're going to do the same thing for DXF. Make sure that it says As Is. Where it says Convert White Lines to Black, you want to check that on both sides. And where it says Join Lines into Polylines, you want to check that onto both sides. While we're here, go ahead, if you have the PNG, and turn on your auto trace. Go ahead and click that on. We're not going to do PNG, but while we're here, I might as well show that to you. Then you're going to click on Apply. Mine are already set, so I don't need to do that, and OK. Now we're ready to import those GSD and those DXF files. So I'm going to come up to my file folder, and you'll navigate to wherever you have saved those files. So I'm under my Valentine Unicorn printable cards, and there are my different files. Design Space is for Cricut, and SVG is for your if you have Design Space or above. But we're going to start in DXF. So I'm going to click on that, select the DXF file, and click OK. And it takes it a minute, and for whatever reason, a lot of times it opens up here above your screen. Not a big deal, just scroll up, go get it, and then we're just going to drag it down to our mat. Okay, so there is our file. Before I go any further, I want to show you the same thing in GSD. So I'm going to go ahead and come back up here to my open file, and this time we're going to get the GSD file, select it, and hit OK. And the same thing, sometimes it opens up above. More than likely it's going to open up on your screen, but it's only going to open up with a letter size paper. So I can come over here and just choose my auto, and there it is. So it's the same file. Stop. Sorry about that, my little dog was being naughty. So what I was showing you is it's the same it opens up the same way whether you're in GSD or DXF. So what you'll need to know is in both of those files, your pieces come in separate. So you can see as I'm clicking on things, they're individual pieces instead of a whole group. So I'm going to come over here to the DXF file, and it doesn't matter which one we're working with. We're just, because they do the same thing. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to select my perforation lines and my envelope. And then I'm going to just bring them over here, and I'm going to group them. So I hit right click and group, or you could do your keys up here. You can fill this in with color. You don't have to, but if you want to, you'd come up here to your color window, and I'm just going to fill it with pink. Okay, and it's ready to go. I know it looks like I lost the lines, but if I bring it over here to sand, they're still there. Okay, now this is our little double heart, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to fill it with red. Whoops, have to select it and fill it with red. Okay, now I'm just going to work on one of these at a time. In fact, we probably won't do all of them, but I want to show you how to fill these in and get them ready to do a print and cut. So let's just bring this one up here. I'm going to zoom in on it so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, there is our I Believe in You Valentine. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to select all of these pieces, and you'll even have to go in and select the inside. So it's probably easier if I just drag that whole thing there. I'm going to fill it with a color, so I'm going to do purple. You don't have to do purple. Doesn't matter. And then I'm going to right click and make this a compound path, and that deletes all of those middle pieces. Okay, so I also want to turn off the cut line on this because I don't want it to print that black line around it, and I also don't want it to cut. So while it's selected, I'm going to come over here to this is your line color drop down, and I'm going to hit the drop down and select the hash mark, which is no line color. And you'll notice that the lines disappear. Okay, so let's come down here now to this, our to from, and I'm going to select it. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to fill it with a color, and I'm going to fill this with white. And I'm going to turn the hash marks off, or the line color, sorry, hit the hash marks, turn the line color off. And it looks like it's disappeared because we've got white on white. And so now I'm going to right click and make a compound path, and it is still there. And the way that we know that it is still there is the next thing I'm going to do is select that box down on the bottom. I'm going to fill it with red, and you can see your to from is still there with that box selected. I'm going to select no line color and turn it off. And I'm going to keep doing that for all of these things. So now let's do these two hearts. I want this heart and the two hearts that are behind. So I'm going to click on one, hold my shift key, click on this second one, and I'm going to fill that with red and turn off the line color. We're just going to keep doing this over and over. This front one I want to do in purple. So fill it with purple, turn off the line color. The eyelashes, I'm going to hold shift and click on both of them. I'm going to fill it with black, and I still want to turn the line color off even though I'm printing the image in black because I don't want it to cut. Okay, inside earpieces, hold shift, select both of them. Let's fill that in with pink and line color to 0. Our little ears, hold shift and click on both of them. I'm going to fill that with kind of this little yellowish color. Yeah, that works. And turn off the light. Okay, now we have these pieces that are kind of on top of each other. So I'm going to hold my shift key, whoops, I bumped that, and select each one of the horn pieces. I'm going to fill them with a yellow or gold. Let's do that kind of gold color, and turn off the line pieces. And now I'm going to right click and make compound path. Okay, the next thing I need to do is all of this word that says Valentine, and I need these little pieces in here. The easiest way to do this is just to drag this off to the side, the little anyway, this piece right here, and I'm going to select all of the Valentine. I'm going to fill it with red. I'm going to turn off the line color or choose no line color, right click and make compound path, and that makes it one group. Now I can bring this back in here and it just layers right underneath. The last thing I want to do is I'm going to take this black one, this outside box, and I'm going to fill it with white, but I'm going to leave the line color on it because that will be our cut line. So if I select everything and group it, now this one is a print and cut. So let's do it with one more. I'm not going to do all of these, but we're going to do it with one more just so that you can see what it's going to do. So I'm going to zoom in again. And this one, I'm going to click on the two. Oh, sorry. I'm going to select the two. Oh, goodness. The two from. Fill it with white. Line color is 0. Right click and make compound path. You want to make the compound path with anything that has inner circles. So like the inside of my 2, the inside of my O. So now, while that's done, it looks like it's disappeared. I'm going to click on this box, and this time I'm going to fill it with, let's go pink. And turn off the line colors, or choose no line colors. And there's my 2 from again on top of it. Okay, let's just do the ears. No line color. It's really quite simple once you start figuring out what to do with it. Let's do our eyes. Hold shift, click both of them, change it to black, turn off the line color. Whoops, I hit red and I didn't mean to, I meant none. There we go. Okay, you are one of a kind. We're going to select all of this. You want to make sure that you get the lower part of the O as well as the top part, and make compound path. Now I can fill it. I guess I did that in the opposite color, or the opposite way I've been doing it, but it doesn't matter. And fill in your line. There's your one of a kind. Okay, hearts. Let's do, this one is purple this time, just because that's what I did on mine, but you can fill them in with any color that you want. I'm going to do this one red, no line color, and do this one pink, no line color. Okay, let's do our little ears again. So hold shift and click on both of them. And no line color. And then last but not least is our little horn. Select all of those, fill them in, and turn off the line color. Last one, we're going to fill with white. Leave the line color. We're going to select everything and group it. So So it all moves together. Okay, I wasn't going to show you the last one. I'm actually going to close that down, but I am, so that I can show you another way to do this that's a little bit easier, but not necessarily, you don't have to do it this way. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm not going to change the line colors just yet. We're going to start at the top, and I'm going to get all of my Have A, and that I'm going to right click, make compound path, and I'm going to change it to, let's do pink again. Magical, select all of magical, change it to purple. Right click, make compound path. See, it doesn't matter if I do the compound path first or second. And then Valentine's Day, we're going to do all of that, except I don't want the horn. So Valentine's Day, let's fill it with red. Let's make it a compound path. Oh, and see what happens is I've got these little marks, and that's where the letters are jointed. So we're just going to undo that. And this one you might have to do them one at a time. Whoops, so I'm going to really zoom in close. And I didn't want to do this, but this is good to show you what happens if something like this does show up. So I'm just going to do each piece individually. Make a compound path. Make a compound path. Oh, we need to fill that with our red. Make a compound path. Make a compound path. Let's fill those in with red. Let's undo it because I'm not sure what I did here. I didn't get that one. When I made the compound path, I didn't get that bottom loop. So go ahead and make compound path. Now we can fill that in with red. We're going to do the same with this one. Make compound path, make compound path. Okay, now I can select all of these. Whoops, I don't want that horn. So now I'm going to select all of those. And we're going to weld it. There we go. Make compound path. Okay, and whoops, see, I didn't get that one. Weld it. Okay, I've done a lot of steps. Make compound path. Basically, when those two pieces weren't welded, I needed to make each image a compound path, and then I needed to weld them all together. You shouldn't have to do that, but I'm actually kind of glad it showed up so that I could show you how to do that in case you ever need to. Okay. So there is our Valentine's Day. Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see what we're doing here. Okay, now we're going to do the horn. I'm going to do the inside ears again. Hold shift. Fill those with pink. And you'll notice that, well, let me show you here. We're going to grab that one. I'm going to change this one to red. You'll notice when I hit the color swatch that these colors up here are the ones that I'm using the most. And so they're going to just show up right there on the top. I'm going to hold my shift key and click the two ears. Let's do this heart purple. Why not? Let's do this heart pink. Do our two eyes in black. Do our two from. I think I don't know. in white, and our square down here in purple. Okay, so now, oh, I did forget something. I forgot to turn these into a compound path. So I'm going to undo it. They're white still, but I forgot to do compound path. Sorry, this is turning into a bit of a long video. And we'll fill that one with purple. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out. Oh, I have one more that I forgot to turn into a compound path. There. Okay. Now, everything has the black line around it, right? And we don't want that. Whoa, our little purple guy, our little... There we go. So I'm going to just select everything except for that outside box. So everything is selected, and I'm going to turn off the lines all at once. Now I can select all of this, right click and group it, and there is my last printable. So I'm going to fit to screen. Okay, now to print this, all I need to do is I will come over here to my page setting window and change my media size to letter, because I'm going to do it on a letter size printer. I'm going to hit this third tab over here. This is your registration marks, and I want to turn those on. There are my registration marks. So now I need to move my images so that they are not on the hash marks and not on those registration points. Once that's set, I can come over here to print it and hit my print button, and it's going to print it just like that. So it's going to look just exactly like this with the three, excuse me. Let's zoom that out. With the 3 registration marks. So I will hit print, and my printer box is going to pop up. Yours may look different depending on what printer you have hooked up. You'll choose your printer. You can change your preferences if you like, and then you'd hit print. I'm going to hit cancel. I'm not actually going to print it, but anyway, once it's done printing, then it's going to look just like that print preview. So now what I want to do is come over to send. This is the other really important step. So we turned off all of those line colors, but they're still showing up. So if I were to send this in here right now, it is going to try and print off that little tiny, the little tiny to and from and all of those little pieces. We don't want that. Super easy to fix. We're going to come over to line, and where it says no color, we're going to make sure that that is turned off, and now all we have is it's going to cut out those black lines around it. So then I would hit send. I'd change it to cardstock or whatever you printed it on, and hit send, and it will cut out just that black line. What happens is your silhouette has an eye, and the eye is right next to the blade, and it will read that mark, and that mark. So you're going to lay your paper on your mat just like it shows, load it up, hit send, and the blade is going to come over here and it's going to go and what it's doing is finding those black marks so that it knows to cut right around those printed images. And that's all you have to do. Okay, let's go back up to design. So as you can see, if you have design edition or above, it's really easy to do this as a print and cut because you don't have to fill in the colors or anything. But if you don't have design edition, you only have the basic edition, don't let that discourage you. You can still do this. I hope that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for joining me today. Please hit subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my videos. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and have a great day.